Just when the streets had started to quiet down after his tragic death, new footage surfaced, raw, unfiltered, and chilling. The last known recordings of King Von on the ground have just leaked, and they're shaking up the internet all over again. The clip reportedly captured moments after gunfire broke out gives a whole new perspective on those final seconds. For fans, it's reopening wounds. For those closest to Von, it's a haunting reminder of how fast everything changed. But what's in the video has people asking one thing: why was this hidden until now? What you're about to discover might just change how you remember that night, the final moments, what really happened that night. When the news broke on November 6, 2020, that rising Chicago drill star King Von had been killed in Atlanta, the hip-hop world stood still. The tragic death of Devin Daquan Bennett, better known to fans as King Von, sent shockwaves through the music industry and left fans devastated. But what exactly happened on that fateful night outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta? Today, we're diving deep into the footage, testimonies, and the controversial aftermath of one of hip-hop's most tragic losses in recent memory. The events of November 6, 2020, have been pieced together through surveillance videos, witness accounts, and police reports. According to multiple sources, King Von had been at the Opium nightclub earlier in the evening before making his way to the Monaco Hookah Lounge on Trinity Avenue in downtown Atlanta. It was approximately between 3:20 and 4 a.m. when everything changed forever. What makes this case particularly complex is the pre-existing tension between two rival groups. Von was affiliated with Lil Durk's Only the Family label, while at the same location that night was Quando Rondo, who has ties to NBA YoungBoy's Never Broke Again collective. These connections would prove crucial to understanding what unfolded. According to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, what began as a verbal altercation in the parking lot quickly escalated to physical violence and ultimately gunfire. Surveillance footage that later surfaced online showed King Von dressed in all-white punching another man believed to be Quando Rondo. Though this wasn't officially confirmed by police, this initial physical confrontation set off a chain reaction that would end in tragedy. The verbal back and forth quickly escalated to hands being thrown before someone pulled out and started busting. The shooting left 6 people hit, with King Von and another man, Mark Blakely, a 34-year-old also from Chicago, both losing their lives. 3 others caught bullets and had to be rushed to the hospital. When the news first broke, there was some confusion, with early reports claiming 3 people had died before corrections confirmed it was 2. This initial confusion added to all the rumors and speculation that started swirling about what really went down that night. The actual moment of the shooting was caught on surveillance video, which TMZ eventually got their hands on and posted online. This footage showed the initial scuffle before shots were fired and then captured the chaos afterward as Von was helped into a whip that sped off to the hospital. This video being public added a whole visual element to the tragedy that fueled endless discussion and debate online. Sources close to Quando Rondo, whose government name is Tiquian Terrell Bowman, claimed he was napping in a car when King Von's crew arrived, leading to a tense situation. King Von reportedly approached aggressively, initiating a physical fight. The situation quickly escalated into a shootout, resulting in King Von's death at age 26. Now, let's hear from Quando Rondo himself about what transpired that night in his own words from an interview with Angela Yee. In this interview, Quando Rondo claims he was simply waiting in the parking lot with no intention of confrontation. He continues to describe the moments leading up to the altercation. According to Quando's account, he was caught off guard when someone, allegedly King Von, struck him. This is where Timothy Leaks, also known as Lil Tim, an associate of Quando Rondo, entered the picture. Leaks, who was present at the scene.
In my head, I'm like, why somebody with my little brother, you feel me? It's like, that's what's really going through my head at the moment when it first pop off. I'm like, damn, like, but I'm a protected person though. It's like any brother I have or any sister I have or any family member I have, if anybody is bothering or doing something to anybody who I love, I'm going to protect them regardless.
Leak statements suggest he acted out of loyalty rather than with premeditated intent, a narrative that might have played into why the charges against him were eventually dropped. As the situation escalated, multiple videos captured the chaos that ensued. What began as a fist fight quickly turned deadly when firearms were drawn. According to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, a total of 6 people were shot during the incident. King Von was among them, suffering critical injuries. In the immediate aftermath, there was confusion about who had actually shot King Von. Initial rumors suggested police officers might have been responsible, as both on-duty and off-duty officers responded to the scene. The Atlanta Police Department quickly clarified that King Von was shot before their arrival during the initial exchange of gunfire between the two groups. After being shot, King Von was placed in a vehicle by associates and rushed to the hospital. Tragically, he succumbed to his injuries shortly after arrival. Another victim, 34-year-old Mark Blakely from Chicago, also died from wounds sustained during the shootout. 3 others were injured and hospitalized with varying conditions. The day after the shooting, on November 7, 2020, Timothy Leaks was arrested and charged with felony murder in connection with King Von's death. At the time of his arrest, Leaks was also being treated for gunshot wounds at Grady Hospital, having been injured during the same incident. What's particularly heartbreaking is that just days before his death, King Von had been seen in high spirits, celebrating the release of his album Welcome to a Block, which had dropped—
King Von, bro! What's going on, boy? King Von in the hood, how we doing?
This footage takes on a haunting quality when you realize how close it was captured to his untimely death. At just 26 years old, with his career on an upward trajectory, King Van's life was cut short in a moment of violence that stemmed from what appears to have been a spontaneous confrontation. The legal aftermath of King Von's death took an unexpected turn in August 2023, when the murder charge against Timothy Leaks was dismissed. According to reports, the charge was dropped prior to indictment, suggesting insufficient evidence or potential issues with the case. Leaks' attorney Noah Pines confirmed the dismissal, though specific details about why the charges were dropped weren't made public. This development added another layer of controversy to an already contentious case. Before the tragic events in Atlanta, King Von had been making significant strides in his career. His storytelling ability and authentic portrayal of street life in Chicago had earned him a growing fan base. His album, Welcome to a Block, named after the notorious Parkway Gardens housing project where he grew up, was receiving positive reviews. Songs like Crazy Story and Took Her to the O had already established him as a rising star in the drill scene. While the specific reason for the dismissal wasn't laid out in public court documents, legal experts have suggested it might have been related to Georgia's Stand Your Ground law, which provides legal protection for people who use deadly force in self-defense. The charges being dropped added another layer of controversy to an already heated situation, with Van's fans feeling like justice wasn't served, while Quando Rondo's camp saw it as confirmation of their self-defense claims. The street politics. To truly understand the context of King Von's tragic death, we need to examine the complex and volatile relationship between 2 influential hip-hop collectives. Only the Family, led by Lil Durk and 4KT for Kingtree, associated with NBA YoungBoy. This beef didn't materialize overnight. It developed gradually through a series of personal conflicts, professional disputes, and cultural friction that created a powder keg situation. The origins of the F and 4KT feud are multi-layered and intertwined with both professional rivalries and personal relationships. According to numerous online discussions, one significant factor involved romantic entanglements. Asian Doll, who had been romantically linked to King Von, reportedly had previous connections with NBA YoungBoy. Similarly, a woman named Jania had relationships with both camps. These personal connections created underlying tensions that would eventually surface in more public ways. Beyond personal matters, professional disagreements added fuel to the fire. Reports suggest that King Von had sought to collaborate with NBA YoungBoy on a track, but the request was allegedly denied. In the competitive world of hip-hop, such rejections can be perceived as disrespect, particularly when both artists are rising stars vying for similar audience attention. The rivalry was further complicated by gang affiliations. F, founded by Lil Durk in 2010, has deep connections to Chicago's Black Disciples gang, particularly the O Block faction. King Van, who grew up in Parkway Gardens, known as O Block, was heavily affiliated with this group. On the other side, 4KT operates within its own network of alliances.
Game, man.
Talk, man.
Tell us what you mean in the game,
talking
on the rap game. You telling, okay? That is bogus. Shit, what else? Yeah, it be just
a
and then we choosing side. We like say you don't fuck with a nigga, but you with another. But I guess he'll fuck that too harder than he with you. So he don't fuck with you. You'll start seeing niggas done following you and shit on Instagram and shit. Stop talking to you and shit, niggas, you know. But you'll see niggas be getting closer. You be like, what the? Like that's gay as
Von's perspective here is telling. He viewed loyalty as paramount and felt that in the rap industry people would often switch sides or allegiances based on convenience rather than genuine relationships. This worldview likely influenced how he interpreted actions by NBA YoungBoy's camp. Adding another layer of complexity to this feud were F's alliances with artists like YNW Melly, T Grizzly, and Teep G, who had their own disputes with 4KT. Reports of a physical altercation between YNW Melly and NBA YoungBoy further entangled these relationships, creating a web of rivalries that extended beyond just 4KT. The tension between these groups occasionally manifested in subtle ways through social media. King Von allegedly trolled NBA YoungBoy online, which reportedly prompted responses like, "Young boys track dead trolls." In the world of hip-hop, such public displays of disrespect can quickly escalate tensions and create the conditions for real-world confrontations. This simmering conflict created the backdrop for the fateful night of November 6, 2020, when King Von and Quando Rondo, who is signed to NBA YoungBoy's label, encountered each other outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge. They weren't just two individuals crossing paths. They were representatives of rival camps with accumulated grievances. Following King Von's death, the beef between F and 4KT didn't dissipate. It intensified. In the music realm, NBA YoungBoy released Bring the Hook, which included lyrics that appeared to reference King Van's death with the line, "Oh Block Pack, get rolled up." Lil Durk responded indirectly through Instagram, posting with King Von's picture and captions that seemed to challenge 4K's claims. The back and forth continued with YoungBoy's track, "Know Like I Know," which contained what many interpreted as threats directed at Durk. Both sides used social media platforms to flaunt wealth and issue veiled threats, further stoking the flames of their rivalry. Other artists, including Lil Reese and Lee Choa and 21 Savage, weighed in, often siding with F due to Lil Durk's established influence in Chicago's rap scene. Perhaps the most shocking development came in October 2024, when Lil Durk was arrested on federal charges for allegedly orchestrating a murder for hire plot targeting Quando Rondo in retaliation for King Von's death. According to the indictment, this plot resulted in the death of Rondo's cousin, Saviera Lil P.A.B. Robinson. In August 2022, 5 associates, Kevin London Grant, DeAndre Dantrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Brian Lindsay, and Asa Houston were also charged with conspiracy to commit murder for hire. Here's what Quando Rondo had to say about his friend's death, which prosecutors now allege was part of this retaliatory action. Little Pep, he actually died in your arms. Did that happening to my right-hand man? My beef is really mainly in the music industry. You could have did this. He could have did this. Your little partner could have did this. The legal ramifications didn't stop there. In October 2024, the estate of FBG Duck, Carlton Weekly, killed in 2020, filed a lawsuit against Lil Durk, King Von's estate, and FF Records. The suit alleges they profited from Duck's death through negligence and misconduct, citing a $100,000 hit allegedly placed by King Von. Let's take a walk through the timeline of major moments in this ongoing beef. Before November 2020, tensions between F and 4KT had already begun to bubble over. Personal conflicts, rejected music collaborations, and constant jabs on social media laid the groundwork for something much darker. Then on November 6, 2020, things took a deadly turn. King Von was fatally shot outside Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta during a heated altercation with Quando Rondo's crew. Just a day later, on November 7, Timothy Lillam Leaks was arrested and charged with King Von's murder. From 2021 through 2022, the beef grew even more intense. Diss tracks flew back and forth while online confrontations fueled the fire between both sides. In August 2022, another tragic blow struck when Quando Rondo's cousin, Savia Lil P.A.B. Robinson, was gunned down in Los Angeles. Fast forward to August 2023, and in a surprising twist, the murder charges against Timothy Leaks were dropped. But the drama didn't end there. In October 2024, Lil Durk found himself in handcuffs after being accused of orchestrating the hit on Quando Rondo that led to his cousin's death. That same month, FBG Duck's estate also entered the legal ring, filing a lawsuit against F and claiming the crew profited from Duck's death. The aftermath of King Von's death revealed the deeply personal and nature of these conflicts. In an interview with Angela Yewando Rondo, described his shock at the confrontation, claiming he had previously had a positive relationship with Lil Durk. Rondo went on to emphasize that his relationship with Durk had been respectful, with the F leader never charging him for features unlike others in the industry. This complicated history makes the subsequent violence all the more tragic, suggesting that misunderstandings and escalating tensions rather than long-standing hatred may have played a significant role. The beef between and 4KT exemplifies how hip-hop rivalries can transcend music and enter the realm of real-world violence. What begins as competitive posturing or perceived disrespect can spiral into deadly confrontations, especially when combined with pre-existing gang affiliations. King Von's death became a pivotal moment in this ongoing conflict, transforming what might have been a manageable industry industry beef into a blood feud with far-reaching consequences. As of April 2025, the conflict remains unresolved, though there have been rumors of potential reconciliation efforts, possibly facilitated by figures like Kendrick Lamar. However, with Lil Durk facing serious federal charges and the lawsuit from FBG Duck's estate pending, the legal and social ramifications continue to unfold. The impact extends beyond just F and 4KT. The rap industry has become increasingly divided, with artists carefully navigating alliances. Some, like 21 Savage, have sided with, while others, like The Baby, have attempted to remain neutral. This environment has created challenging conditions for collaboration and has forced many artists to choose sides in a conflict that shows no signs of resolution. The controversy. In the years following King Von's tragic death, numerous theories and controversies have emerged, fueled by fan speculation, social media discussions, and cryptic statements from those connected to the case. One of the most persistent and divisive narratives centers around the idea that King Von was set up to die, a theory that has gained traction in certain corners of the internet despite the lack of conclusive evidence. These theories stem from several factors, including the timing and location of Van's death, pre-existing tensions within the industry, and subsequent events that have raised questions about loyalty and betrayal. On Reddit, fans have extensively discussed the possibility that the confrontation was not a chance encounter, but rather a calculated setup. Some fan theories suggest that Wando Rondo deliberately provoked King Von to create a situation where violence could be justified. These speculations point to an alleged Instagram story clip showing Van and Rondo hanging out in the past, suggesting they were once on good terms before the fatal encounter. This apparent shift in relationship has led some to question what happened behind the scenes. Even more controversial are the theories implicating Lil Durk and Van's death. Some fans have suggested that Durk might have been jealous of Van's rising fame and orchestrated a setup with Quando Rondo. Proponents of this theory point to Durk's alleged disrespect toward Von after his death, including a comment on social media about a fan-made chain of Von with the phrase, "Get it back in blood," referring to the chain Durk had given Von. These theories gained additional traction following Lil Durk's arrest in October 2024 on federal murder for higher charges related to an alleged plot against Quando Rondo. While the indictment presents this as retaliation for Van's death, some fans have interpreted these developments as evidence of a more complex narrative involving betrayal and calculated moves. Social media has amplified these speculations with posts on platforms like EC, formerly Twitter, garnering hundreds of thousands of views. One post by College Kid on October 27, 2024, with 694,522 views referenced fans linking Van's beef with NBA YoungBoy to the fight with Quando Rondo and Durk's arrest. Another post by the Pad Rep on October 28, 2024, with over 2.5 million views, opened a thread discussing the potential connections between Van Rondo and Durk's involvement. It's important to note that these theories lack official confirmation and often rely on conjecture rather than verified facts. The dropping of charges against Timothy Leaks in 2023 added another layer of complexity, with some interpreting this as evidence of deeper conspiracies, while legal experts point to more mundane explanations like insufficient evidence or procedural issues. Adding to the controversy are claims made by King Von's former partner, Asian Doll, who posted on X that the police said Tim ain't kill him, the police did. While this assertion contradicts official reports from the Atlanta Police Department, which clarified that Von was shot before their arrival, it has nonetheless contributed to the web of alternative narratives surrounding his death. Beyond the controversies about his death, King Von left behind a substantial musical legacy, including a large archive of unreleased material that continues to generate interest among fans. According to his former manager Track, in a 2021 interview with DJ Vlad, Von had recorded approximately 300 unreleased songs before his death, enough for around 10 albums. This vast collection of unreleased tracks has fueled ongoing leaks and discussions within fan community. Platforms like SoundCloud and Reddit have become hubs for sharing and discussing these leaked songs, with fans actively recommending their favorites to newcomers. A Reddit post from February 2024 asking for recommendations of unreleased King Von tracks received 85 comments, with numerous suggestions highlighting the continued interest in his work. Among the most frequently mentioned unreleased tracks are songs like NASA, OG Heartless, Hard to Breathe, and various collaborations with Lil Durk, including I Am No Auto, Raincoat, and Take Off Champ. These recommendations provide a glimpse into the diversity of Van's unreleased catalog and suggest that his artistic legacy extends far beyond the official releases. Is available on streaming platform. The management of this unreleased material has been a point of discussion among fans, with some expressing concern that leaks could jeopardize official posthumous releases. However, others view these leaks as a way to keep Van's legacy alive, especially given the significant amount of material that might otherwise remain unheard. Interestingly, as of April 14, 2025, a new album titled Unreleased Songs is scheduled for release on April 15, 2025. According to information from BGgo.com, this album is expected to contain 6 tracks, though the specific song list remains uncertain, with some inconsistencies noted in the available information. This upcoming release represents the latest effort to officially share Van's unreleased work with fans following previous albums like What It Means to Be King, March 2022, and Grandson, July 2023. The continued interest in King Van's unreleased music reflects his significant impact on the drill scene and hip-hop culture more broadly. His storytelling ability, authentic portrayal of street life, and unique voice established him as a distinctive artist whose influence persists years after his death. Beyond the music, King Van's story resonates as a complex narrative of redemption, tragedy, and the challenges of transcending a difficult environment. Before his success in music, Van had faced significant legal troubles, including incarceration for armed robbery as a juvenile, and a 3-year stint in Cook County Jail from 2014 to 2017 on murder charges, for which he was eventually acquitted. His transition from legal difficulties to musical success represented a potential pathway out of the cycle of violence that has claimed many young lives in Chicago. This makes his death at age 26, just as his career was ascending, all the more tragic. It raises profound questions about the intersection of hip-hop culture, street life, and the challenges of escaping environments defined by conflict and retaliation. The impact of King Von's death extends beyond his immediate circle to the broader hip-hop community, where it has become a touchstone for discussions about violence in the industry, the real-world consequences of rap beefs, and the responsibilities of artists and their entourage. His story serves as a sobering reminder of how quickly success can turn to tragedy when the tensions of the streets follow artists into their professional lives. As we reflect on King Von's legacy nearly 5 years after his passing, it's clear that his influence continues to be felt. His music, both the officially released track and the leaked unreleased material, provides a window into his unique perspective and talent. The ongoing legal proceedings related to his death, including Lil Durk's upcoming trial in October 2025, ensure that the circumstances surrounding his passing remain in the public consciousness. If you enjoyed this video, click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this.